Welcome to the art of telling an intriguing story in 30 seconds to a minute piece. I'm Robin Humbert. I am a writer, producer, and director out of Los Angeles, California. I've been producing for over a decade for film, television, social and digital, commercial content for multiple different networks and different clients and brands like Disney, Marvel, networks, NBC, MTV, Bravo, Discovery Channel, Animal Planet, you name it. Shows everything from Dancing with the Stars and The Bachelor to shows like My Cat from Hell. Big name, small, I've done it all. And I'm also a voting member of the Emmy Academy, member of the Producers Guild of America, and I have my degree in English because storytelling is really at the key of it if you're a creative producer. Actually, when I worked at Discovery Channel for a while, part of my job there was to write the episode synopsises for some of our series. So I would have to take, the 30-minute or an hour-long episode and condense it down to 50 words that didn't just explain it, but were also intriguing to draw audiences in. I also worked at Trailer Park for a year, which is a premier global agency in creating entertainment marketing. So for that, I was making just film trailers and taking these, either full series, condensing it down, or a feature. So I have a lot of experience of not just producing content, but making it in the short form. So up first, storytelling 101. You need a beginning, middle, and end, no matter the length. It could be a feature film, a full series, or a 30-second piece. You need a beginning, middle, end. The beginning should be something interesting or intriguing that captures the audience's eye. Especially in today's climate, attention spans are real low, so you gotta have something. If it's a celebrity, if it's an action, if it's whatever it is, a funny joke, it has to have something that draws people in. So you should always think about starting it with what's your top most interesting piece. And this is, this presentation is for visual storytelling, but this should be included as well for, if it's written or if you're pitching. So for example, if you are pitching a script that you've written, do you have a big name actor attached? Did you write this with another screenwriter? Did you win a screenwriting award for this? Whatever you have in your pitch, start with that. Hey, I made this, I'm an award-winning writer. Oh, I've partnered with the screenwriter. We have this actor attached. Before you even start talking about the script, say the most interesting thing to whoever it is that you're talking to. From there, next, it's context. Because you're talking about this world, this hopefully original creative piece that nobody knows about. So the audience is alien here. They don't know anything about it. So that's the middle is where you showcase what this is. And you can do that through many different ways, of which I'll get into later. And then the ending, think about the call to action. What is this? Do you want people to go see your film in a theater? Are you pitching this to investors to try to invest in your film? What is the end goal of this, and how do you do that and include that in the takeaway? So that could just be if you have, coming soon, July 16th, that could be the takeaway, or it could be anything, but you have to think about that when you're ending it so that people either will want more, check it out, things like that. Things to include when you're making and consider. Think about the editing style and pace, because that really is just as important as what is on screen, like the picture. You can cut really fast and make it really dramatic. You can have it slow and cinematic and kind of romantic. Those are things to consider if you're making a visual story piece. Work with what you have. Again, anything with production value, and even if you don't start with it, you should incorporate that in the piece because that'll just elevate it and make people want to watch it. And it also shows that you're legitimate, that you have these things to work with. Whether or not you should use graphics. Again, I'm going to explain why that's helpful, why you might do that, and show some examples in a little bit. But consider, do we need graphics? I don't know. And then know your audience. What is the demo? Where are they watching this? Is this a small screen or a large screen? And what's the point? Again, if you're pitching to investors, it's different than if you're putting this out on social media for everyone to see. So if you're putting something on social media, that's something that they're going to look at on the small screen. So they may not have their audio on. If they don't have audio on, music is not as important then because they're not going to be listening. voiceover, they wouldn't hear it. So you wouldn't include those things on something that's going on the small screen. Same thing with like wide shots. You know, if you shot this beautiful cinematic wide shot in 8K, it's not going to matter on the small screen. You may not even be able to see it on the small screen because it's so big. You can't see the details. Those are things you'd want to incorporate if it's going on a theater or a television setting, you know, surround sound, things like that. Those are things that, again, you wouldn't put in the small one, you would in the big one. And animation, too, you know, children, they can't read, they don't know, so you wouldn't have lots of graphics all over for a children's piece just because you'd lose their interest. So these are all things to consider. How you're going to tell the beginning, middle, and end, and where this is going. My first example here is a project that I produced when I was working at Trailer Park. This was for a new series for Amazon, and it is animation.
During a storm, she was born. Beloved by everyone. We taught her.
What's this? My enemy's child.
You miserable thief!
Now you listen to me. You will be my enemy always.
And she taught us. But it was her thirst for adventure that changed all our lives.
Hey, Robin's daughter. Who's that? I know you. Yes, I do. Big, I'm coming with you. Don't be scared. Wow. There's more to this world than I thought. Try!
Big Borkerson! Come here! You and I are gonna have a word.
Our lives are precious. I love it. The forest gives me nothing but joy.
We started with the beginning with it's a dark and stormy night and there's lightning, you know, hopefully that drew people in. We also told the story. You start with her as a little girl. She was born, and you see her kind of grow into, you know, you see her build this friendship with this little boy, and they're running around in the forest. So you see this friendship grow and you see her grow. You also have the takeaway at the end, you know, it's streaming on this time. So that's beginning, middle, end. Now, we did that by utilizing voiceover at the beginning and graphics kind of throughout. Now, the graphics, because this is animation, and again, I said children don't read, but if you notice, we layered them over the action on the screen, so that way we don't lose the children's attention. The parents can read it, because to parents, it might be important that it's from an award-winning author, that it's with this well-known studio. Children don't care, but the parents do. So that way you can actually include both of them and capture both audiences at the same time. Next, I'm going to talk about these different tools that we use: voiceover, graphics, and soundbite. So there are different reasons why you might utilize these tools. For voiceover, you know, again, that would be something you wouldn't put on social. You would want that for a theatrical thing. And you might be doing that because it can tell a story more succinctly than actual bites. You know, if you have an actor saying a line and it's beautiful, but it takes 30 seconds to say, you don't have time for that. Or you could have a voiceover person read, "Their love was one for the ages." You know, that's very succinct and short as opposed to this long soliloquy of someone to showcase that love. So that's one way you'd utilize voiceover. You can also add in other things like coming to a theater near you. That's not going to be in the film, so that's why you would utilize voiceover. So here's a project I produced while I was at Trailer Park with voiceover.
Welcome to Fun Home, the groundbreaking new musical about seeing your parents through grown-up eyes. Winner of 5 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. It's an emotional powerhouse and the best of what Broadway can do. Fun Home, now in performances through April 1st. Tickets at amundsentheater.org.
Next up, we have graphics. Graphics are great for social content on the small screen because people don't listen with audio. So if you're not going to use voiceover, you might want to use graphics. They can pinpoint, they can say the script that voiceover would read. This is utilizing graphics.
中午帶陳水性喺車等我電話。
So for this one, as you saw, there is only really one line of dialogue. I mean, obviously the film has a lot of dialogue, but it's an action film, right? So you want to include as much action as possible, as much fighting as possible, but fighting doesn't tell a story. So how do you do that? Well, you can utilize graphics and say, here's what it is, and in between just have all action. So that's one great way to use graphics, and while still highlighting and showcasing the main points of the film, which is like a big star in China, a lot of action, and lastly, it's soundbite. So it's just utilizing the film and the voices from the film to tell what that film is and show the examples.
Oh, Lordy.
The blues' earliest days are lost to time, and many of those who made the first blues recordings disappeared.
The story of the blues is riddled with inaccuracies and you know, all this kind of mythology. It was all mystery.
Until a few young men decided to go off in search of these legends.
These guys were obsessed with this sound.
If there was any chance of these people still being alive, it was worth whatever effort to get them in front of a microphone again.
Their quest brought them to Mississippi in the summer of 1964.
It was tense, and we drove into this.
We are not going to permit any outside group to come into this state.
The thought of getting in a car and kind of pointing it south and thinking that it would be easy enough to find a performer like Sunhouse, I mean, it's like Bigfoot hunting. There was so little information for them to go on.
3 white kids and 1 black guy in a Volkswagen. Yeah, in a Volkswagen.
Well, there's 2 trains running, and they're running this way. One leaves at midnight, other at the break of day, at the break of day, at the break of day. Oh, Lordy.
There were 2 trains running that summer, and they would meet one fateful Sunday in June.
Well, there's 2 trains running.
You might have watched that and thought, that's a lot of voiceover. What is she talking about, soundbite? But it's not. We did not hire a voiceover artist for that. That film is a feature documentary, and so they do have a narrator, and that narrator just happens to be a well-known recording artist named 𝘂𝗍𝗄𝗯, who also produced the film. So for us, it was really important to incorporate him and use him because that's an asset, you know, that brings production value. And because he narrated throughout the film, that's great. We can use those bites to actually narrate the trailer as well. So that's why we incorporated him as well as the other characters from the film to tell that story. And lastly here, We have a film trailer that I produced for a feature, faith-based documentary that I've been working on the past year or two, and this was to bring to the American film market and pitch to try to get meetings with distributors, studios, networks. Our challenges here were that it's a documentary, so we don't have any celebrities attached. It is faith-based. Do we want to use religion or not? Also, it wasn't completed at this time. We had a very, very, very rough cut, and that was what we had to work with. So we put this together, and we ended up getting lots of meetings, and we're still right now currently talking with a distributor about a deal that we met through this. So this is just one example of how important sizzles, promos, trailers, these short pieces are, because they can help you with the bigger picture. You know, now we have this feature film that we are negotiating a distribution deal. So that stemmed from this. So this is why this is important. This is how storytelling works.
It was an accident that happened at work.
Nobody in the family, including David, had time to say their piece with Zachary.
I had to help my brother in some way. I felt called to the mountain, and I knew that there was a spiritual force there.
It was just almost a desperation to go to the mountain to pray for his brother.
Long live Zachary's spirit. I hope that he has a wonderful ascent.
I knew that it was a calling.
And then you realize, wow, the power of prayer is really there.
It was time to start St. Nicholas Mountain Climbing Club.
Dylan, you just did your 5th 14er.
So this year you're attempting to perform the highest liturgy service on a mountain for the Serbian Orthodox Church. How do you plan on doing that?
We hope to have the liturgy in a cave beneath the summit of Blanca. We haven't been there yet.
This is survival on the mountain. This is three-point climbing. You have to use your hands and your legs.
Once the liturgy starts, we can't stop. We have to complete it.
We pray to God to do this, so we are ultimately in His hands.
We cannot fail.
Sa Gospodom napred.
You crazy? Well, do you want to cancel the liturgy?
Do you want someone to die?
Climbing the mountain, for me, was life-changing. I do believe that this is a place to find purpose for our life here on earth.
And note how we utilize a lot of the different tools or suggestions that I've talked about today in this trailer. Thank you so much for participating in our panel. Here is my takeaway, my contact and call to action, my website and social media, and I appreciate you staying through to the end.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, Robin. We prepared this presentation a week ago, so to save time. I want to welcome everybody. Ioannis Teskelidis is here. You can unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Ioannis Teskelidis also is our script analyst for our script contest of feature and short scripts. Michael Dukakis, welcome. You are one of the participants in the script contest. Lily Bordan, welcome. You are a film director with a beautiful film participating in the festival. Salimi, welcome. You are a script writer and you participate in the festival with your feature script. I ask you to unmute yourself. Melina Chiaverini, welcome. We have your script in the contest. You can unmute yourself. Hakan Unal, welcome again.
Hello, welcome.
Hello. I don't know if I saw everybody, right? I greet everybody. Oh, okay. Javad Darai, he insists to enter ours now. How, Javad? Welcome.
Johnny, did you want me in on this one?
Yes, we start at 6 o'clock. You wanted to enter since 3 o'clock, where we were preparing the video for the award ceremony. And you participate with your feature film in the Golden Aphrodite category. Ioanni, please, I would like to tell us your remarks about the scripts you already reviewed for the festival, for our contest. What is your opinion?
Okay, hello everyone once again. I would like to say that first of all that I'm very happy and very honored to participate through the whole process. I went through all the scripts, of course, and I'm glad to say that there are some scripts that, according to my mind, are absolutely ready to go to the big screens. And it was a very nice thing to meet throughout all this process. Actually, there were some scripts, I'm not going to name them, that really touched my life, taught my heart. They spoke to my soul, and they were absolutely precise about the delivery of their message and the structure in every level. So congratulations to everyone for all the attempts, and of course to the winners that will be announced soon.
Thank you, Ioanni. I think there is one more participant, Johnny, but he cannot open his video. Christo, I don't know if you can do something with Johnny. Mike, so we have a limited time. We have only 30 minutes left. And if you want to pitch your script for Robin and Lily and all of us to listen, we can do it right now. We have already 2 pitches recorded. One is Melina's, and the other is, I don't see the script right now, but we have one more recorded script. So who wants to start to talk about your script in 1 minute? Hakan, maybe? You have 2 scripts, actually.
I have 2 scripts, yes.
Okay, you can talk for both of them.
Well, okay. Let me introduce myself at first. This is Hakan Ünal. I'm a Turkey-based writer-director, and I have 2 scripts in the official selection in the Golden Aphrodite International Film Festival. The one is The Shell, the second one is The Purgatoria. I'd like to talk about a little bit about The Shell. The Shell is a psychological drama, which is about the raw but the realistic portrait of a woman in a modern society whose life is stuck between the art school where she works as a painting teacher and her small apartment flat where she still lives with her very controlling elderly paraplegic mother. She looks after her mother, needs at home, and busy with her drawings in her room. Her silent world will break up with an unexpected visit of a stranger. Actually, The Shell is psychological drama about an unmarried painter woman living with her mother in a state of emotional and social disequilibrium, who tries to find the obscure femininity in a modern society. I have always been sensitive to the women issues all around the world and equality, and I have been particularly interested in exploring decaying of the family relationship in modern society. Dealing with this subject in my script seemed a very righteous thing, because this is so true issue even day to day. I think I was inspired by the images that have been imprinted on my mind, and events that I experienced in Turkey, watching and observing women in my family and the women around the
what about the second script?
The second script is Purgatorio, is a kind of dystopic story, which is about a Nazi SS officer is just being found in something in nowhere, and by a Jewish woman, and they start the circling around in the purgatory to think about they have lost, and they will learn. So it is a vicious circle of the personality of on the others. On one side, someone who has just lost his life, and the other side, the woman has been killed by this man and waiting for the solution. These are the scripts on my is everything okay? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
All right.
Thank you for sharing. Are you going to direct these?
Yes, indeed. I direct all my scripts, and I will direct this. The first one, The Shell. I've been planning to direct this film in 2022. Due to the pandemic situations, hits all around the world, and also it's been circling the festival lines for these two scripts. So we have some time for funding and pitching those scripts in the festival for next year as well.
Thank you, Hakan.
Thank
so,
you.
Ioanni, what are your comments? Would you like to share?
I have no particular comment to say. Me going through the scripts, I can say that I recognize the same kind of approach to the text. Of course, the themes are different, but anyway, I realized, I recognized some similarities in the way that the whole text is structured, and even the heroes and the approach of and the delivery of the message of the film, of the script, actually.
Thank you. Anybody else would like to add something?
Do you also have either stars that you would like to attach, or other key crew talent, either producers, DPs, or anything like that, either aligned or interested, or just for you as a writer and director?
I'm just writing and director, but the casting crew hasn't been attached yet. We've just been keep in touch with some DIPs, but they haven't been attached.
Okay. Somebody else want to pitch about his script?
I wasn't sure if I was supposed to pitch, so I brought a project.
Go ahead.
That I would love to share and get feedback. The title is Fly by Night in Montreal. It's a feature film. In a day, a screenwriter and an actress help each other rewrite the endings of their personal stories. A Hungarian cast and crew fly to a prestigious film festival in Montreal to premiere their movie. Among them are the screenwriter Zsuzsanna, who happens to be a lesbian in conservative right-leaning Hungary. They are joined by Hungarian-American actress Lily, who flies in from her home in Los Angeles. It's been a year since Lily and Zsuzsanna met on the shoot in Budapest, where they became fast friends. Zsuzsanna wants to become a future dad to her partner's kids, an unusual setup and near impossibility in Hungary. Lily opens up about wanting children of her own, but confides to Zsuzsanna that she wonders if her husband will ever feel ready. While everybody around them is distracted by the pomp festivities of a lavish film festival gala, the two women recognize in each other a buried peril of the soul, the denial of which would lead to certain spiritual death. As Lily and Zsuzsanna help each other rewrite the ending of their personal stories, Zsuzsanna has a memorable ride in the elevator with Catherine Deneuve. Lily decides to divorce her husband, and their feature wins Best Picture at the festival. So that's one project that almost got filmed last year, but the funding fell through, but I haven't given up on it. Crossover references include the movie Lost in Translation and basically all the Linklater films, especially Before Sunrise. And the tagline is, "You never know who's going to rewrite your story."
Thank you. Robert, would you like to comment?
Yeah, and for that, I mean, was this inspired also off of like true events or visiting Hungary?
Yes, inspired by true events and also my Hungarian roots. So then I didn't change the names of the characters, but this really is a true story or based on a true story.
So that's interesting. I would include that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I feel like that's really important, and especially also with like IP, if you're getting international funding and stuff, to let them know that you're the owner of it. And I'm not that familiar. Would it be entirely filmed in Montreal, or would it be entirely filmed?
Yes, it's like a one day. This spans one day of this film festival.
Okay, but I mean, like, are they? As they're interacting, are there any scenes in Los Angeles or Budapest, or?
Not currently, there's no flashbacks.
Okay.
Or flash forwards or anything like that.
And would the film fest have to be in Montreal, or could it be in another location?
This happened at the Montreal World Film Festival, and we did win the grand prize at the Montreal World Film Festival. I was a producer and actor on that movie. But it really could be anywhere. In fact, we're looking at shooting it maybe in Los Angeles and just moving the locations around. But definitely we want it to be like a third place. So someone's flying from Hungary, the actress is flying from New York or Los Angeles, and they're meeting in this neutral spot because it's really important that they're meeting in a neutral spot.
Okay. And would you also be producing on this one as well?
You know, I'm open to any role on this one. When we were supposed to shoot this in Montreal, I was supposed to be directing it and acting in it. But I'm not, I'm totally open to just being an actor in it and then, you know, having some producer's credit. I also helped write the script.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds like a really interesting project. I mean,
well, what was so touching to me about it and why I felt like I had to write it is because now I have a baby and my husband, who's amazing. And so I really was stuck in a relationship for 8 years where nothing happened. And this person came into my life in this one moment and said, you're lying to yourself and everybody around you, and you're stuck and you're miserable. And you know, when you're like, everybody sees you but you, and you need that one person to break through that sort of haze that you're in. And so that day completely changed my life.
Yeah.
Something that I like about this, and also 𝘂𝗄𝗄𝗃, the shell, is that they're both like female focused. And as a female producer myself, I am really happy about hearing about films that...
Also, one thing I just forgot to tell about the 𝘄𝗶𝗁𝗀. I'm sorry for interrupt this conversation, by the way. The 𝘄𝗶𝗁𝗀 won the best international screenplay at the 38th Rhode Island International Festival last month. And then it got the jury grand prize at the David di Donatello in Italy as well. That's my 8th festival I attended to present the 𝘄𝗶𝗁𝗀, actually. So I'm very proud of this project, both presenting the women issues, actually, because it's very massive and very challenging things for me to present for women issues as a male director. Also, I had a chance to speak about the women in a high volume in so many international festivals by presenting and pitching this project.
Thank you. I would like to invite Johnny Lewis to introduce, you can introduce yourself. You are a writer, and you can share your writing experience and how you usually pitch your works.
Yeah, hi. I've made some anti-war comedies, 8 of them. They're very short, and they've won 27 awards in 150 festivals in the last 4 years. And now I'm moving to feature projects. And I wasn't prepared to do a pitch, but what I will do is talk about how 2 of my features that I'm working on have originated. Coming from the anti-war perspective and doing it through comedy to keep people open rather than closed down, I had an idea, and I was talking to my chiropractor about it, and he is a veteran of the Army and Iraq and Afghanistan. And he started telling me stories, and his stories were just crazy and wild. Not about, oh, look, my buddy got hurt and we're all heroes, but just weird, strange stuff that happened, and taking bodies to the morgue and then finding hundreds of thousands of dollars on these bodies and dealing with that, and staying up for 72 hours straight. And also all the comedy, the dark comedy that the soldiers share. And it's something that I haven't seen. His stories were something I haven't seen on the screen before. And so I sat down with him for 2 hours over coffee. He told me his whole story. I've put that into a draft form of a script, and we're going to get together in a couple of weeks and go through it again and make things more consistent. But I put in my style of comedy, which he looked at and he said, Johnny, this is exactly how soldiers talk. And another one, speaking of women, I was in LA for 11 years, but I'm from a small town in Michigan, 3,000 people. And I was taking a walk around the town one day, and I was looking at this big factory, which is a place where a friend of mine, a woman, had worked for like 35 years. She's also been a motorcycle rider for 35 years, a Harley rider. And even though she was married and her husband introduced her to this, she got her own bike pretty quickly, and she's been riding for 35 years. And she doesn't fit the stereotype of what a biker is at all. This lady, she's 5'10". She's sexy at age 64. And I remembered her as being the homecoming queen of our high school. But she says she was not the homecoming queen. She was in the court of the homecoming queen. But she's just a lovely, warm, funny, compassionate, beautiful person. And her husband died 2 years ago. So I got the idea to make a story about somebody whose husband died a couple years ago. They're not back out into life yet, and yet she has this passion of motorcycling that has sustained her in the past. So a friend comes and tries to talk her into a cross-country trip. And at first she says no. And it turns out they do end up making the trip. And it's just about the interplay about her friend, also a woman, and on their cross-country trip and all the interesting things that happen. And also her friend, to talk her into this trip, her friend told her a lie about why she wanted to go. She said she needed to go to visit her sick mother, and that's not the reason. So there's going to be some conflict halfway through. They're going to blow up. They're going to scream at each other. And we'll see what happens. I've written 42 pages on this. I currently have 6 scripts that are about halfway done on average. One of them has 105 pages. One of them has 30 pages. One of them has, I think, 56. So that's just a little bit about how my writing inspiration, how a couple stories came up. I wasn't really trying to write a script, but I was paying attention to what happened in my life. And at first, when I sat down with my friend, the motorcyclist, I said, there might be a story here. And she says, I said, can we have lunch? And she says, well, I don't really think there's a story, but I'd love to have lunch. So she's a humble person, but I think it's a great story because it can inspire people it can inspire women. It can inspire people who want to take a great adventure. It can inspire people who've maybe thought about riding a motorcycle or thought about doing something adventurous for years and never have done it. It can inspire people of a certain age, and it can inspire people who have lost a loved one and don't know how to move forward. So I'm pretty excited about that script.
Thank you, John. Yeah, it is important to know our reason why we write this script. What is the reason to tell a story, and for whom? What is the audience? Robin told us very nice and correct things before. I think because we have already Melina's 𝘄𝗶𝗁𝗍 video, we are going to share some of it, and we are going to discuss about that.
I've written a riveting original screenplay on the life of the fabulous Melina Mercouri, based on a true story as told by her beloved brother, Mr. Spyros Merkouros, with the support of the Merkouros family. Take a look.
Now I want to say how I met Joe and Melina. They came a few years ago and told me that they want to make a film about Melina. I said, okay, that is a good idea, and we decided to collaborate together and to assist them at the story of Melina and of the great achievements of her. We start doing this. We start working. We study details. We study actions. We study everything about Melina. We put them together and we will see how and when we could do a film about Melina. Let's hope and let's say good luck to us. Thank you.
For inquiries and more information on the Mercouri Film Project, please email mercourifilm@yahoo.com. To Melina, happy 100th birthday, se agapame. To everybody at home watching, please stay safe, enjoy the festival, enjoy the films. Thank you, Cyprus.
So, for people who they don't know Melina Mercouri is the ex-Minister of Culture. She is Greek, and she was thrown away from Greece during the dictatorship. And we know, all of us, all of Greek origin, Cyprus origin, their story, but she is also international. She has an international appeal through her filming career. Right, Melina?
Yes, yes.
Do you have a connection? What is your connection with Melina Mercouri, apart from your first name?
Yes, my mother's Greek. I was named after Melina Mercouri. And I became an actress myself. I was also an attorney, but I was always fascinated by Melina, and I became friends with the Merkouros family. And over many years, I would discuss with them
my dream of bringing Melina's story to the big screen. And we'd laugh about it and we'd discuss it. And after several years, Mr. Spyros Moukoura said, you know what, that idea you had, let's do it. Let's work together, which was very exciting. So my husband and I, we went to Athens for a few weeks and we sat down every day, and rest in peace, Mr. Spyros Moukouros, who's now sadly passed away. But he really wanted, before he's passed, to tell the story of his sister. He and his sister were extremely close. They had a very, very tumultuous life together. And he wanted nothing more than to put that down in a story and to get that to the big screen. So that's how I befriended the family. And I still have the support of the family. I'm very close with his sons. And we're very excited about the project.
Yeah, Melina, who is going to direct and who is going to have the leading role?
Very good questions, very exciting questions.
Mm-hmm.
The script is very recent. I only finished it during COVID. So we're still packaging the project. I'm in discussions with one producer, and these matters are all on the table and still pending, so to be advised, but they're very exciting, and we can't wait to share that information.
Okay, there were several laurels at the end, so it is the script participation in festivals, in contests. What is this about? Because it's so recent, as you tell us.
Yes, it is recent. It was only this year I completed the screenplay, although I've been researching it, as I said, for many years. But yeah, I immediately entered it in competitions, in festivals. I wanted to get feedback on what, of course, I adore the story. I wanted to know what people, the industry thought of it. And it's been really, really warmly received and heralded. So I'm very proud of that and very excited about what that will translate to in terms of production.
But do you have somebody attached already in this project?
No one formally attached, but I'm definitely working with a producer who's had specifically a Greek film Oscar contender. So very, very confident about how this will come together. I should say that, but I really won't announce any names just yet until we do an official press release. I don't want to preempt anything, but it's good.
Okay, are you going to use a lot of footage, or it will be everything fiction?
I'd like to do everything fictional. Of course, I want to ground it with some actual footage. Anyone who's read the script knows there's a beautiful epilogue. So of course, at the end, I really want to showcase the real Melina and the real highlights, especially perhaps her funeral, which was so amazing. And we don't actually get to that part of her life in the script. So that's very important to cover that in the epilogue with the real footage. But maybe some footage, if cost comes into play, of the war, the junta, the Polytechnic, maybe, we'll see. Yeah. It's the producer's call, the director's call. So when we get there, we'll know more.
Yeah, but be careful not to be like more documentary. It
exactly.
Depends on which footage you're going to use. Ioannis has some comments, I think. Ioannis, you have a comment for Melina.
Yes, right? Actually, I was very, very happy seeing from the very beginning the title of the film, of the script, actually. And because it's a great brand for Greeks, but not only for Greeks. I guess that this name is well known even abroad because of her career here and there. I mean, here and there in the political world, in the artistic world, and everywhere. And I think that she was one, maybe the person that was absolutely attached to the story of her times, to the story of Greece that went together with her life. And I think that if we are able to see the film, I would like to see the footage from the Polytechnic, because they are very thrilling moments for us. And the Greeks, at least the Greeks, we know word by word what was recorded at that time and the way. And each time on 17th of November, some days ago, it was the anniversary, and everyone waits to see again the same footage, let's say now, that speak about our absolutely recent story. And I think that if this film it gets realized, I would very happy to see the bright moments of her shiny personality, but are always followed by her shadows, because they will make her shine even brighter.
Beautifully said. Thank you.
Thank you. We have only 8 minutes left. Salivi, please share some things about your script, and Ioannis has to comment about that.
Sure, thank you. My script is titled 𝘂𝗄𝗯𝘀𝗰𝗶, and 𝘂𝗄𝗯 is a family drama about 2 families that leads to a feud between them. And it's basically a story of 2 young teenagers who fall in love with each other, but it leads to family feuds because the families do not agree on that. But it's not, it is a kind of way that Romeo and Juliet, but not necessarily about the love. It's more importantly focuses on a Sikh tradition in Afghanistan where women are used as a position and used for human compensation. And although it is about love story between the 2 teenagers, but the film focuses on human rights, and more specifically women's rights and child marriage. 2 families that they are just busy, farming, nothing else. And this relationship starts between these 2 teenagers. Farhad, who works in a mosque as a servant, provides service to the mosque, and this young teenage girl who loves to go to the farm, but once this relationship, this affection between them is known, 𝘂𝗄𝗯 is forced to stay home by her brother. And villager starts talking about them, and it brings disgrace to them, and it leads to feud, and it leads to honor killing, because honor comes first. Life is after that. And it just doesn't make sense, at least to me. So yeah, the origin of the story is my personal experiences. I have seen this, I have witnessed this whole feud and this whole situation between the families. It's based on real events. And what basically made me write this script is when I saw that my grandma was stuck between her son and her brother, and she had to choose between the 2 because there was feud between them, and she couldn't decide. And what she could do was she was just quiet, and she was just, tears were dropping, and she had to choose between them. And it was a loss, so it was no win-win. And that made me, tell the story because there are millions of women there that suffer every day.
Thank you. Ioannis, would you like to comment on this script?
I have to congratulate you about the way that you wrote the script. It was fantastic, and it was something that familiarized us with an absolutely unfamiliar world. It is absolutely obvious that it is written by somebody that knows exactly about the reality he is trying to describe. And what I would like also to say is that apart from what you've already said about the film, about the script actually, which are absolutely there, according to my mind, we also see that even the men, not only women, are trapped into this big jail. Thank you for the script.
Thank you. Michael, you have a script also in the competition, Punish Me. Would you like to tell us in 1 minute what is this about?
Yep, I'll do my best. It's about narcissism. It's something I've seen a lot. Usually it happens for women, but I'm trying to use the LGBT community. I know many true events which gave me inspiration about that. And there's a lot of gaslighting. It's a malfunctioning relationship because with a narcissist, you can't, he is never going to have any emotion. So it's very difficult to connect and be with a narcissist. So that's what it's all about.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ioanni, would you like to comment on
Yes,
this?
I would like to say that it is absolutely obvious that all the skills out there in the script, according to my mind. What is our recommendation is we need a dispatch. We need to see better the message that the film would like to deliver, what it really wants to speak about. It's a little bit contradictory because the whole story is very well described. The heroes, the characters are very well structured. Everything is there, but strangely, we miss a little bit the message. But anyway, this is a very nice script.
Thank you. So thank you very much, everybody, for being here and get connected, know each other a bit more, share opinions, and share inspiration, I hope. Would you like, everybody can have a last word. 2 words, I say first, be inspired. Lily, what are your 2 words?
I would like to stay connected.
Thank you.
With everyone.
Yeah, I'm working also with an investor at the moment, and we are looking to partner and potentially find and produce within the next year or 2 new films as well. We're looking more to partner with production companies, but I'm also interested in looking for scripts and potentially bringing them to companies and partners that we're working with. So I would love to stay connected.
Thank you. Melita?
Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Παρακαλώ. Hakan?
I'm very glad to be a part of this festival and keep in contact.
Thank you. Johnny?
Yeah, hi, thank you for allowing me to participate. My 2 words would be johnnylewis.com, and I've already looked to see robinhumbert.com. And there's no H in Johnny. I don't know if there's some way, in the chat, I see it doesn't look like we can share with everyone, but if there's some way to follow up and connect, that would be great.
In Facebook, you can connect. We can connect each other.
Yeah.
Thank you. Salimi, your last 2 words in this chat, in this session.
Keep it up.
Michael?
I would say to stay connected, and I would like to share that this was just a proof of concept because I'm writing some feature screenplays, so I would love to stay connected, and I liked what Robin just said. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Javad?
Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry because late connect for you.
I'm so sorry because our English is not very good. I'm so sorry because we say hello to everyone very late and at the last time. And if we should say the last word, stay safe, everyone. And we are so glad to meet you. And I'm so sorry because we had a problem with the internet. And it was our pleasure to be in touch with you and meet you in the Zoom. It's very good application in this situation.
Our next festival is in November, Bridges. So everybody will get invitations to join the meetings. Either you participate or not with a film or a script. So no worries, we will be connected.
Okay.
Ioanni?
I would like to say that the evaluations will be sent by the festival to every participant. And if anyone would like to talk, I'm always available.
Thank you. And
Have
Christo?
faith.
Have faith. Thank you. Christo, what is your
I'm really happy that I heard all your scripts. It was really nice.
Thank you. Good night, everybody. Thank you. Be safe, healthy, and see you in 1 hour. Ciao. Bye-bye. Be inspired.